So today, in keeping with the theme of today, it's about building future prosperity, and for hotels, especially given the economic circumstances we find ourselves in today, and the issues about rising costs, escalating sort of energy bills and so forth. We have an opportunity to address some of those issues whilst also providing the guest with the optimum guest service. Our solution is called iPortal. iPortal I presented this time last year, and today, for those who attended that session, this is a bit of an update. What have we been doing? How have we been developing the product and so forth? But for those of you who are new to iPortal, I hope I will be able to give you a comprehensive all-around view of exactly what it is and how it's built and and ultimately the benefits it can give to the actual guest. It is all about providing the guest a frictionless guest journey. Now, two things before we start. Absolutely fundamental is the guests nowadays do not want to download apps. No more apps. Apps are an inconvenience, and the technology that we have can do as much, if not more, than an app-based solution. So no more downloads from the App Store or from the Google Store, none at all. iPortal, absolutely appless. Why appless? Because progressive web apps are much less expensive to develop. In fact, there are no development costs at all for the hotelier. And for the guest, it provides them with instant gratification. Scan that QR code, your solution is all there in an instant. QR codes themselves, ubiquitous. Nowadays, everybody familiar with the use of a QR code, how to scan it and so forth, taking you straight into the information solution that you are looking for. Second point, 73%. 73% of all people, travelers surveyed by Oracle Skift back in May 2022, want to use their own mobile device to enhance their guest experience. Okay, so 73%. 3 in every 4 guests nowadays want to use their own mobile device rather than ask a question or whatever. So there's 2 things that are fundamental to the start. One, appless, and secondly, the demand from the guests to use their own device to enhance their experience, which is why we come to iPortal. Why did we develop iPortal? It is, in its base format, a digital directory as you are using it today for the Hospace event. Absolutely no restrictions on the buttons and so forth, and in its base format, it provides everything you would need, including guest messaging, feedback forms, and the like. And these examples I'm putting up at the moment are actual user examples. And as you can see, the design is limitless. You can have whatever design you want, whichever corporate branding that you have. So how do I use it? Simple. The first thing to do, sign in online to the iPortal Content Manager, exactly as you would sign into a GoDaddy site or whatever to build a website. You sign into the iPortal Content Manager. Simple. You then create your iPortal. It is a very intuitive, easy to follow, no great IT skills needed. As long as you can upload an image or 2, you will be able to produce something like that, which is a resort in Hawaii, who were one of our first iPortal customers, and they have enhanced it over the last 18 months, and they are very keen on showing the beautiful blue sky of Hawaii to their guests. And as you see there with the little globe icon at the top left-hand of the screen, theirs is a multilingual solution available in Japanese as well as English. So the second thing you do is create. Simple as that. And at the end of your creating phase, you deploy. In other words, the output is the QR code. And that QR code for hoteliers is the means to communicate, to inform your guests, to encourage them to scan the QR code so they can learn about all of your facilities and amenities. I was on a panel recently, basically about hoteliers, and hoteliers talking about the guest journey. The guest journey starts at the booking phase. It doesn't start when they sort of walk into the hotel. That QR code needs to be sent out with the booking confirmation so that the guest can learn and understand of all the facilities and amenities the guest of the hotel has before they arrive at the premise. So what's sparse? That's when the guest is going to be booking additional services from you. So get that QR code out there as soon as possible. After a week or two, one can go back into the content manager and now see how popular the various services have been, the uptake, the usage of iPortal and so forth. So from a marketing perspective, the hotel can understand which of their services are most popular, which are not so popular, and hence go back into iPortal should they wish, move buttons around, make amendments, etc., etc. The QR code never changes. Never changes. Make as many changes as you want, but it will never change. But this marketing gold dust is available as part of the service. It's for you, the hotelier, to understand who your customer is and what they like. And the final piece of the process is the management piece. For those hotels who have more than one property, those hotel groups, then one could create one iPortal and clone across all sites, or you can edit individual sites on their own should you wish. So multi-site management, essentially. Okay. The architecture and how it all works and how it sort of comes together to offer the ultimate guest solution. The iPortal-based platform. What does that give you? It gives you all of the customized branding. You can read these points yourselves. It gives you guest chat. It gives you feedback. As many buttons as you want. All of the information you should want to give to your guests in an easy format, scanned by a QR code, in their pocket, on their device of choice. Easy, easy, easy. And that base solution is available for £75 a month. I've got no problem in sharing costs with anybody or prices and so forth. I'm very, very open and transparent when it comes to that. £75 a month gets you all that. However, the branding, as you see, with this example here of our own Tiger Inn, can be whatever it wants to be. And as you see, the button format can be 3 buttons per row, or 2 buttons a row, or swiping across the bottom, or whatever. It's completely and utterly as flexible as you want it to be. But if you don't want to spend any money, if you're a hotelier who, yeah, I like the idea of having a digital assistant directory in my guest's pocket, but really, I don't really want to spend any money on it. I just want it as a convenience to the guest. We have introduced Ask Me Tiger. Ask Me Tiger is exactly the same as the base iPortal solution with a couple of changes. The largest change is that you will see on Ask Me Tiger in the number 2 button position a CNN button. This is how we monetize it. This is how we pay for it. Basically, tapping on that button, because of our relationship with CNN, will not only bring you the CNN news feed, it will also show you an ad underneath it. So that's the way that we pay for this particular solution and make it completely, utterly free of charge to you, the hotelier. Other than that, it does practically exactly the same thing as iPortal Base, and here are some examples of it. It's an 8-button format. Number 2 button, as I said, is always the CNN button, but any bespoke branding and icons and everything else is exactly the same as iPortal. And here, again, real-life examples of Ask Me Tiger. These smaller hospitality organizations have taken it and are sending out the QR code with their booking confirmations. But back to iPortal. And for the larger full-service hotel, what can iPortal bring? I've talked about the base architecture, the base platform, but now the magic really happens when we add our middleware. iLink, the middleware, the TigerTMS, has been developing and enhancing for the best part of 40 years. This is what the company is all about. It's about integrations into third-party applications, and this is why we have more integrations with more PMSs than certainly any other organization in the market. So iLink essentially brings the additional functionality, and this is where the magic happens. First thing we can do, F&B. Our partnership with Fetch, together, we can offer a unique solution for those hotels wishing to offer F&B, be it in addition to waiter service in the restaurant or for room service or in a bar or whatever it happens to be. And again, totally and utterly appless, one QR code per property. In iPortal, one selects for example, the room service button, and which opens up the appless Fetch module, which would have example screens like this for room service or for a restaurant or bar or whatever it may happen to be. And you can go through all of that and you can choose your mains, your sides, your drinks and whatever and everything else. And it's all good and it's a very easy, smooth experience, all real time, integrated with the point of sale system. And when the guest has decided upon what they want and want to place the order, then we offer them a choice. We offer them, do you like to pay by card? And if so, we throw them out to a payment gateway. But if you'd like to charge the room, then we now enter into a complete process for room charging. The first thing we do is that we authenticate whether that person is that person who's authorized to make the purchase from that room. So, John Owen, room 501, I would put in John Owen, room 501. Yes, I'm the checked-in guest. And iLink does its magic and brings back to the Fetch module, yes, John Owen is authorized to make that room service order. We then send the order to the POS and the order is placed. All good. And that is normally where it ends. But we take it one step further. Because in many, many hotels all over the world, at the end of my stay, I have looked at my bill and occasionally, not always, occasionally, the room service from a couple of nights ago is missing. And why is that? That is because it is a manual process to post from the POS to the PMS. It depends on the actual person to key it in to the Symphony system or whatever POS they're using. We automate that. The third leg is to post the bill automatically onto the PMS, taking out any room for any human error at all. So automatic posting via iLink to the PMS. So we authenticate, we then send the order to the POS, and we post the bill back to the PMS. We can do all of that. Next piece, speed dialing.
This is WebRTC dialing. It's not using the mobile phone as a phone. It's using an internet call, using a technology called WebRTC, which to London hoteliers, especially with international sort of visitors and so forth, is attractive because it's a free of charge call from anywhere in the world, from the guest into the whichever department in the hotel. You can set up speed dials for the spa, for reception, for whatever you want to. And it is compatible with all of the cloud systems. So if you have a BroadSoft system or whatever cloud system you have, it's also compatible with on-premise telephone systems. The legacy ones need a session border controller to convert the internet traffic into a SIP call. So, and again, these are examples that people have sort of implemented with all the speed dials that they have chosen. Moving on. Enhanced messaging. As part of base iPortal, you get guest messaging. All good, fine. Guest messaging from the guest into one phone at the hotel. But enhanced messaging really does take the service level to a sort of a new dimension, because it essentially treats messages which are far, far, far more popular than any telephony inbound as a contact center type sort of solution. So we have a iNotify guest messaging contact center, which has a management console in which you can sort of see all the messages, and the manager can sort of take over the messages, drop into the dialogues or whatever they may happen to have, all multi-language supported. You then have the agents themselves on the browser with all the messages they've been assigned on the left, the current conversation in the middle, and any other information they need in the right-hand panel, because of course there's integration with the PMS here. So the messages coming in from your guest, you know whether they've got a nut allergy or whether they're a VIP guest or whatever. All that information is given to the agent who's conducting the dialogue, the messaging dialogue with the guest. Also available on a smartphone or a tablet, so hotel staff, for productivity sakes, can be responding to guest chats whilst they're walking around the hotel. What does the guest get? There will be a guest chat button, and all of the simple requests, etc., can be enabled via this. Next piece that iLink does. So this is, it's almost limitless what we can do with iLink, but the next piece is auto checkout and view bill. Again, we can do mobile check-in with, and the reason I'm hesitant about this is because mobile check-in is dependent on the PMS provider, and if your PMS is not Oracle Opera on-premise, then we can satisfy mobile check-in as well. With Oracle Opera on-premise, Oracle want to move their customer base into the cloud. Therefore, they are restricting any additional development for the on-premise version. That's their choice. However, mobile check-in and check-out plus view bill, again, simple function. Press the button on iPortal. You will be asked to enter your credentials. As soon as you do, you get a complete itemized bill of exactly what you've spent at the hotel so far on your mobile phone, and the opportunity to express checkout. If you express checkout, you will be sent an email with the folio almost instantaneously. Okay. Moving on. Guest requests. This is new. This is basically what we can do with direct integration into workforce management systems such as HotSauce or NoCross. So people were talking about it earlier. We can enable the guest to send that sort of service request directly into the system which is being used by the hotel, be that Hotspot or No Cross or whatever, and we can add others as well should we wish to, depending on demand. So again, it's automating and making the guest experience as frictionless as possible. And finally, if that wasn't enough, sustainability, the ability to control the heating, ventilation, air conditioning, HVAC, in the guest room. Connection into the BMS system, which was talked about at length earlier in the earlier session. iLink already has direct connections into those 5 BMS systems. We are currently at an advanced stage with another manufacturer who have a middleware solution which connects into, I would say, hundreds of different BMS systems. So their middleware connecting into iLink will enable us to offer this service irrespective of which BMS system you have. At the moment, we support those 5 as a direct connect, but with the partnership with this third-party company, we will be able to offer this for any BMS out there. So the guest can control their aircon and heating and even lighting, if that's on the BMS system and so forth, even the curtains, from their own mobile phone. Should you not wish to go down the iPortal route and just want a connection between your PMS and the BMS, so that automatically on checkout, the power is disabled to the room, and automatically on check-in, it's powered up, we can do that. We do that for several hotels around the world already, where basically they're taking away the human involvement again, and making sure that everything is automated and you don't have to depend on the guest taking that card out of that slot reader, and basically everything is automated on check-in, check-out. Okay, that's what we can do today. So we can offer that solution today, completely app-less, as I said, all available today. But what's next? In the first quarter of next year, we will offer hotels who have car parks and charging points in car parks the ability to offer their guests the choice whether to put the actual charging cost directly onto their bill. So again, similar to the F&B, a choice will be given. Do you want to pay by card, or do you just want to put it on your bill? Then we could be able to do that as of the first quarter of next year. And we have many, many other plans and ideas for this solution, because iLink enables us to do it. iLink, the middleware between the PMS and all of those other third-party solutions, is the magic that makes us provide all of this functionality. It is the oil in the machine. Not only does it save you money with fewer connections into the PMS, but it provides so much benefit to the hotel. So, am I running late or early? I am running very early. Okay. I don't know. What was I? Oh. Plenty of time for Q&A. Yeah. 2 more things. 1, a summary of the benefits. Guests, and we do, this is not glib, we've got thousands of hotels as customers throughout the world, but we do make it a point to try to elicit from our hotel customers thoughts and ideas about their guest experience. We attend many events. We speak directly to sort of, the kind of people who stay in our hotels and so forth. We try to understand as much as possible the requirements of the hotel and the requirements of the guest. Requirements of the guest: simplicity. Really easy mean of, having that enhanced experience, via a solution which is easy to use, if I can put it that way. That's what iPortal does for the guest. For the hotelier, it's a solution which is easy to implement, very easy to manage, and provides all the feedback you should need about what your guests are doing. And again, you can then refine the service accordingly and so forth. It is sustainable. You know, I'm interested today, here we are, you know, we've been presenting the QR code for iPortal for this event, which I showed at the start here. And please do scan that QR code, because on it you will get all the information about the delegates, the agenda, and later on there will be the seating plan for the gala dinner on one of the buttons and so forth. But everything is there, and we're all accustomed to using this type of technology, yet still there is a printed brochure. Now, sustainability is one thing or the other, really. Okay, so, you know, we are trying to drive the sustainable agenda, and I think there sort of is a sort of innate conservatism within the hospitality market, which is not pushing that agenda as quickly as it could, perhaps, if I can put it that way. So this is a very sustainable solution. It is easy to use. Hoteliers with a modicum of IT expertise could build as good iPortals as I've shown you today with the Jalapeno and others and so forth. There is undoubtedly a higher uptake than traditional apps. I'm sorry to say, but the age of the app is coming to an end, and it is now about app-less type solutions. We have one hotel in the UK, 150 bedrooms, roughly 2,500 iPortal usages a month. So, you know, we know it works, but it works in conjunction with the hotel, advertising and promoting the QR code, putting their services on the information that the guest needs into that QR code, into iPortal, so you can reduce all of the other expenditures that you have. It is undoubtedly two solutions in one. Get that QR code. For those who want to sort of derive more revenue, get the QR code out at the time of booking so they can book their spa there. The honeymoon spot for anybody who's made a purchase is just when you've made it. That is the easiest time to upsell. Upsell at that time, and basically your £100 booking will become a £150 booking. That's the easy way of doing it. And when they're in the hotel, as we can distinguish between a resident and a non-resident, it allows the hotel to offer a superior service to those who are staying. Multi-site management and so forth, guest feedback, the Amazon 5-star rating is what we use. You can also put in a free-form text answer in there as well. It does everything that you need. And finally, before I finish, because TigerTMS is not an island, believe it or not, we would like to invite hoteliers to join an advisory council, an advisory board for iPortal. We fundamentally believe that this product can do what you want it to do. It can reduce costs, it can provide better guest service, etc., etc. But we want your help in shaping and developing this product over the next few years. So we are inviting hoteliers to join an advisory board. The requirement, the ask we have of you will be a quarterly meeting, 3 of which can be online, but there'll be a fully expensed dinner and face-to-face meeting once a year. We'll do that. And also those who join will be given iPortal to use themselves, because obviously I can't expect anybody to give me feedback if they're not actually using the solution. So the eat your own dog food situation arises here. So please, if anybody would like to join the advisory board, it's not going to be a big advisory board. We're going to keep it as select as possible. Please either drop Tanya an email or come and see me at the break or whatever it happens to be. But it would be great to have people
putting in input into the solution and saying, listen, John, you know, have you thought of this? Or why don't you go down this road? Or can you change this to this? Fantastic, because it's a solution for hoteliers, and hoteliers should be basically putting the input into what it should do and what it can do and how it maps out in the future. And that's me. Thank you very much for your attention. My throat is just about to dry up completely, so I appreciate everything and your time and the last half an hour. Thank you very much.